Welcome to the Wellness Journey with Linus of PraiseWorks. Our program will show you the fun and simplicity of wellness. You can achieve total wellness through holistic practices and fitness. Join us now as we talk to experts in the field of total wellness for your mind, body, and spirit. Here's Linus.
Hi, this is Linus from PraiseWorks, and welcome to another edition of the Wellness Journey. I am so glad that you've taken out the time to join us today to talk about ways that you can become totally well for your mind, body, and spirit. As I always say on the Wellness Journey, what we like to do is to bring in experts from different fields of the field of wellness to kind of give you some idea and to educate you on ways that you can improve your life, on ways that you can create a holistic lifestyle or a healthier lifestyle, or maybe ways that you can get motivated to maybe make a change that's going to make you healthier, or get motivated to learn more about how the temple that God has given you is an amazing machine, and He has given us the responsibility to take care of that machine, because that machine houses that Holy Spirit, that Spirit within that shines through. And boy, does it really shine when you're feeling better about yourself. So here on the Wellness Journey, we like to have people on that kind of help us figure out ways to feel great about ourselves and discover who we truly are. And today I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. You know, PraiseWorks is growing, and I'm so excited to say that we now have on the PraiseWorks Health and Wellness Network, we now have 4 shows. So please take a look at the show page and look at the different shows that we have. All of them come from the feel-good wellness genre. We have Real Talk with Lady Jazz. We have Bringing the Fire with Andre. We have Inspirational Sundays and Andre to Wellness Moments. So take a look at the shows and find out which ones you might like. And if you would like to suggest a show topic or something that you would like to hear about on the Wellness Journey, please email me at The Wellness Journey, that's one word, The Wellness Journey, at yahoo.com. That's The Wellness Journey at yahoo.com. And I'd love to hear what kinds of things that you would like to hear about on the show. Also, if you feel like you have something to say, if you feel like there is something that you want to share with the rest of the world in terms of your expertise in the field of health and wellness and fitness, please email me, because we are always looking for talk show hosts, people who have something to share, have something to talk about, would like to be on the air interviewing people who they feel have messages that everyone needs to hear. We have a listening audience of about 60,000, so please feel free to email me, and in the subject matter say, I have something to share. That way I'll know this is a potential talk show host that's calling me. And I'll be glad to give you a call, and we'll talk about it to find out if you would like to become a member of the PraiseWorks Health and Wellness Network family. Well, as we begin to move towards the spring, and I don't know when you're going to be listening to this show, but most people will be listening to this sometime in April or May, but regardless of when you're hearing it, it's always important. You're going to start thinking about things that you could be doing to begin to get in shape for the spring. So you can start showing those arms and those legs, and maybe some of you out there still want to show a little bit of your belly and necklines and all of that. And let me tell you, one of the first things you want to start doing to begin to get yourself ready for the spring is to begin to start detoxifying, cleaning out your system. And there's all kinds of detoxifiers out there. Talk to your holistic doctor about it, or go on the internet and find out about what would be great for detoxification. One of the things that I love to do is warm water and lemon. It's a very natural detoxifier. It kind of flushes you out, and there are stronger ones also that do a great job. If you go to my website and go to my store, you'll see on the left-hand side there are all kinds of products, and amongst those products are products that can help you detoxify, to help clean yourself out and clean your system out, so you can get rid of all of those toxins and approach the spring fresh and clean and ready to, and keeping it that way is always important too. Once you detoxify, you want to kind of keep it that way and start maybe making some changes in your diet, drinking more water, taking sugar completely out or using less sugar, maybe cutting down on your coffee, removing a lot of the flesh you have in your diet. So if you're eating pork, oh gosh, it's such a no-no in so many ways because of the fat and because of the salt and the high in cholesterol. But if you just have to eat meat, maybe leaner cuts of meat, increasing your vegetables, taking a look at how you're preparing them. Someone told me today, oh, I eat lots of vegetables. I said, that's great. I said, how do you prepare them? She goes, oh, well, I cut them up and put them in boiling water with some fat back. Oh, not always the best thing to do. So take a look at my website, because on my website and also on my blog, there's all kinds of information that we can share with you on how to detoxify, how to live healthier lives. My website is www.praiseworks.biz. Also, I'm on Facebook. I have 3 fan pages. I have Praiseworks, Inc. Take a look at that. There's all kinds of information on health and wellness, and also our Journey to Wellness Coaching by Praiseworks. That's our coaching fan page. And every day you get a new tip to coach you to health and wellness for your mind, body, and spirit. So take a look at the world of Praiseworks on our website, www.praiseworks.biz, and you will find all kinds of information. And while you're there, sign up for our newsletter. It comes out every Tuesday. It's called Transitional Tuesdays. And on Transitional Tuesdays, we offer some pretty good deals on our products and services. And if you get the newsletter, that might entitle you to as much as 30% off on our services or on our products. So sign up for our newsletter on our website. And again, it's www.praiseworks.biz. And when we get back, we will be talking with a phenomenal woman. I don't want to give it away because she's done so many things. If I were to tell you a little bit about her, you'll say, oh, I've heard of her. It's a surprise, a special guest when we get back. This is Linus from Praiseworks, and you're on the wellness journey. We'll be right back.
We are all on a journey of some kind. Some are on a journey that will lead to another career. Some are on a journey to better relationships. And others might be on a journey of spiritual awareness. Whatever your journey, you can't be as effective if you aren't working on your health and wellness. At Praiseworks, that is where we come in. We want to help you along your journey by giving you the tools you need to achieve total wellness for your mind, body, and spirit. Through our virtual coaching services, our essential oils and other holistic products, fitness DVDs, and informational and motivational CDs, you can be well on your way to total wellness and further along your personal journey to achieve whatever it is that you set out to accomplish. Praiseworks Health and Wellness wants to be a part of your journey. Go to our website at www.praiseworks.biz and click on the Store tab to find out more about our affordable services and products. Praiseworks Health and Wellness holistic products and services, a must-have to aid you along your way to total wellness for your mind, body, and spirit.
Hi, this is Linus from Praiseworks, and welcome back to the Wellness Journey. And as I said earlier, before we went for the commercial break, that we have someone with us who is just wonderful, and I'm so excited about having her with us today. We have with us today Hattie RetroAge. That is how she's known on the Internet. And let me just tell you that she is a phenomenal woman. She is full of energy, and she's been recognized by the Oprah show. She's been recognized by the lovely people in New York as one of the 6 natural beauties of New York by Gotham Magazine. And we're so happy to have her because on top of everything else, she is a holistic life coach, and she is 75 years young. Hattie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm delighted to hear
Thank you so much. Yeah, welcome to the Wellness Journey.
I thank you so much. Now, part of the issue right away is that people hear 75, and they cannot imagine that it's anything but, okay, better than nothing. She's vital at 75, but give me a break, 75 is 75. And one of the wonderful things about being 75 in the way that I have created myself to be this way is that I can show women everywhere that you can take aging into your own hands and be as vital and beautiful and sexual as you choose. And I really mean that because I'm here to inspire people, and I love them, and I love to inspire them.
Well, I think that's wonderful. How did you come to be a holistic life coach? How did that all happen?
That's a great question, because it all started out with what I jokingly refer to as the power of negative thinking. Because, I think that most of us, Linus, are kind of ashamed to say that we hate aging. I mean, we can say it when we look in the mirror or something, but there's something about it that you're not supposed to hate aging. But I didn't know that as a 4-year-old child, because my mommy used to take me to the steam baths in Brooklyn, and I would look at all these Russian immigrant ladies, and I was 4 looking up at their bodies, and it was not a great sight, and I said, I'll never be a lady if this is what ladies look like. And I made that little vow at 4. Can you imagine?
Yes. Well, it's interesting because many messages are planted in our subconscious at a very early age. In fact, they say that from 0 to 6, the foundation of a person's character is laid during that time, and included in that are all the person's propensities for certain kinds of insecurities and also a certain level of confidence. All of that is planted at a very young age. Mm-hmm. But that's not to say that we can't undo some of that planting, correct?
Well, the wonderful thing is that rather than just undoing it, you use that as the energy and the motivation to transform, because some of your self-criticism can actually be real. So rather than being afraid of it, you take it on and say, what do I really want to be? How do I really want to look and behave and live? And so you use the negativity as fertilizer to grow the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Absolutely.
have in my
book, a great way to look at it.
In RetroAge, the 4 Steps to a Younger You, there is one chapter called Uninsultable. And what you do is you literally write down 10 possible insults that could be hurled at you, so that when you hear them from yourself or outside, you just detonate them. They don't have meaning for you because you have taken on your own life, and you are going to make it a glorious adventure at every age.
Let's talk about your book, RetroAge, The 4 Steps to a Younger You. What exactly is that about, and what made you decide to write the book?
Interestingly, it was when I decided that, yes, I was going to be a lady, whether I liked it or not, and I said, well, I'm not going to be one of those steam room ladies. And so I literally prayed, and I said to God, and we all have faith in our own way. Mine is that I don't so much pray as speak. I have like a dialogue. And I said, please, God, if there are things that can help me live a beautiful, vibrant, contributory life, give them to me, tell them to me, and I promise in return I will tell the world about them to help other women. And so suddenly all sorts of amazing things came to me. I was told to go to Tortola. Funny that I use the word told, but I was. And I lay in the sun, and I ate the fresh fish and the vegetables and walked up and down the hills, and I started experiencing myself as becoming younger. Then I saw that my skin got white, and I saw that my skin was getting kind of tough from the sun. And then I started soaking in essential oils and dry skin brushing. And all the dead skin came off, and fresh new skin was underneath. Now, I had written the first organic certification form in America in the 60s. Talk about being obsessed with health. And Don Lennon was a member of that co-op. And I checked on all the farmers and testified in front of committees about, like, the Consumer Advocate Committee, the Consumer Protection Agency with Bess Morrison. I just took my feelings, my power, my passion, and instead of being angry or fighting, I kept on saying, whatever I see that I want to change, that I want to make beautiful. I love the word beautiful. I love it in myself, and I love it in the world, and I love it in every human being that I see. I said I'm going to use that, plus my faith, to create a living role model of beauty at every age, honoring, respecting, enjoying every stage of life. And sure enough, with this prayer, this request, more and more things kept coming up, and I just kept getting younger and younger. Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, I decide that I'm going to enter a bathing suit beauty contest at Roseland Ballroom. And I win first prize, and I'm on the Regis show in a bathing suit of 52, and they considered 52 old. Can you imagine?
Well, probably back then they might have, but they say now that the 50 is the new 40.
50 is like this is one old woman, start preparing her will. But I said to myself, look at how the audience is applauding. I was a dance teacher, and I taught children dance, and I love that. And I was fit from eating healthy food and teaching and, moving around because I was a mother. But I saw the way Regis reacted and Kathy Lee reacted and the audience reacted. And I went away from that experience and I said, if this is how people react to an older woman's beauty, then I am going to teach them all my secrets and impart this inspiration to them. And that was going to be what the rest of my life was going to be about. This at 52. I was divorced.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad I'm not the only person that at 52, because that's kind of where my epiphany came also, to make a change in my life for the better in terms of what it was I wanted to do with my life. So we have something in common, and I'm glad that I'm on the right track. When you're talking about imparting, isn't that something? When you talk about imparting your knowledge to those people, to individuals, to kind of let them know that the aging process is a beautiful process, and it's a journey that we're all going to take. You can't keep from taking that journey of aging. And as we talk about that, what are maybe 3 things that you can share with our audience that they want to be looking out for, 3 things that they want to do to help them with embracing the aging process?
Well, the first thing is, as you probably agree, is attitude. And luckily, since my name is Hattie, I made up Hattitudes.
Okay.
And one of them is the opposite of old is not young. The opposite of old is new. And the capacity for renewal is something everyone can do at every stage, but you have to get rid of the past. You have to let go of these things that you feel are giving you security, but in fact they are holding you back. You cannot hold back time, so you have to embrace it and use that time to be self-disciplined and motivated and keep creating health and believing in yourself. But it takes action. So first it's the attitude, the internal attitude where you grace your life and you experience it as an adventure and a gift. And then the next thing is to motivate yourself to take action, whether you feel like it or not, honey.
Right. That's a rough one.
Yes, it is. And when you consider the alternative, and it's real, you see, as I grew older, I was really faced not just with some wrinkles on my face or some varicose veins on my leg. I didn't like them, but they were not going to motivate me. But when I realized that my energy might be gone, my sexuality might flee, I might not be beautiful or desirable or be able to contribute to humanity, these things were like unacceptable to me. And I said, listen, if this is what aging is going to do for you, you better take some action, girl, because look at the consequences. And when you see things, that's what, again, that's what I say, the power of negative thinking. When you admit what it can truly do, when you see people with walkers and wheelchairs, don't just say, I'm not going to be them. You very well might. I very well might. But you say, I am going to read books and go to gyms and do what's necessary to give my body, to give my spirit what it needs. It's like nourishment. It's like
yes, and everything that you said about motivating to take action, that's really important because we all have choices. It's all about choices. And we can live well into our 80s that's fine. But you want to think about, well, what will the quality of my life be when I'm in my 80s? Am I in the bed with bed rails with the pins wrapped around me, or am I full of energy, enjoying my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, enjoying my peers, golfing, traveling? It's all up to you and the choices that you make now, if you're in your 20s or even in your 50s or 60s, in terms of how you take care of your bodies as to the quality of life that you will live. It's not that you won't have longevity in life. It's all about the quality of the longevity of your life, and that starts with first you making a choice. And I like that about motivating yourself to take action. That alone should motivate you that, you know what, it really is within your hands. It's within your control to make that choice, to start making some lifestyle decisions, to change maybe some of the things that might have an impact in terms of the quality of life that you'll be living when you get into your 80s.
It's wonderful. You phrased it. I couldn't have phrased it better myself, Linus. You really have gotten it. Now, the interesting thing is at your age and people who are in their 40s or somewhat older and facing menopause, well, there's the empty nest syndrome. If you've had children, they're gone. There's a huge shift in life, and it is scary. And again, instead of saying, I'm not afraid, I believe one should acknowledge, I'm afraid, I'm worried, I'm concerned, I'm getting older. Then it's what can I do, and then what will I do? So if you hang out in the comfort zone, your comfort zone is going to be a bed in a nursing home. So I don't want to sound harsh, but I do know that the payoff for research. Now, I found out when I was going through menopause, I went to a doctor naturally, and naturally he gave me estrogen. And since I was a health, because he said it's fine, it's excellent, and then I started some staining, and I realized I wasn't getting my period back. That was breakthrough bleeding. And then I thought, again, of the negative consequences. I said, no, I am not going to take this because I don't want to bring cancer into my system. Now, when we learn about the different things that are wrong for our body, as much as we think they make us look younger or they taste delicious, the self-discipline necessary, you have to keep saying to yourself, it's worth the discipline. So I went off that, and sure enough, whenever you say no to something that's bad, wait a while, because the beautiful thing, Linus, is something wonderful comes at you. It's extraordinary, darling. You say no to what you know you should not say yes to, like fried foods and most drugs. I'm very anti a lot of medication and things unless when absolutely necessary. But as soon as you say no, something happens. And something did happen with me. I was at a lecture speaking to people about youth, and a woman comes up to me, and she starts bothering me about a product. And I said, would you please, please not bother me about products? I get approached constantly. And I said, who are you? And she said, an ethnobotanist. And I said, let's have lunch. And so I learned about a special herb that was worthy of a lunch. I hear you chuckle. So what happens is you will be supported, I promise you, and that's why I wrote the book, you see. But I wrote it 15 years ago, and nobody really admitted that they were afraid of aging in those days. It's only now with the boomers that are really upset about what aging can do, and they don't want it. And so I republished the book 15 years later with new photographs, and, honey, I look better now than I did then following RetroAge.
That's wonderful. So it's interesting because I was writing down some of the tidbits that you were saying about, your internal attitude and, how basically your self-talk, the things that you say to yourself, and about motivating yourself to take action and how important that is, acknowledging your fears, educating yourself, and renewing, letting go of things of the past that have been weighing on you, and renewing yourself and rejuvenating your spirit. What's another thing that you would advise for someone who wants to embrace the aging process?
Well, the 4 steps of RetroAge are eating, attitude, skincare, and exercise, EASE. Now, the eating formula that I have in my RetroAge book and that I coach people on is something called food combining. And no current eating book speaks about that. And that is never, ever combining animal protein with complex carbs. The body cannot properly digest it. And so, since people have been eating these things for years, our bodies, as you say, have all sorts of toxins and obstructions and stuffed up intestines and things. So if a person does this food combining, digestion will be much, much better, and it's totally described. But the other things that must be taken, and you don't have to be a registered nutritionist, you don't need a prescription. There's a product, and I'm not getting money for this. It's called PB8, PB, Probiotic 8. You must have probiotics in your system because they're antibiotics in your system whether you've taken them or not, because they're in meat, they're in cheese, they're in food supply. So you want a probiotic every single day, PB8.
Which helps you with your digestive process. And I want to, for our listeners who may not understand, I just want to make sure that we break it down and make it plain so they do understand. A complex carb, you're saying not to combine complex carbs and protein because it's hard to digestive.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult because there's no food on the planet that does that. No culture does that. Every single culture will have meat and potatoes, arroz con pollo, hamburgers. Everything is protein, animal protein, and some kind of bread or grain or rice or something. And even if it's organic, and even if it was harvested by your grandmother's loving hands, you can't have them together. It's a different pH. And the reason this is not sold that way is our habits are such that we think we're not being fulfilled unless we have, like pizza is cheese and dough. And the only sandwiches you can really have are whole grain with avocado or whole grain with vegetables or with hummus. That's it.
Right.
And if you decide...
Explain to the audience real quickly what a complex carb is so they'll understand what that is.
Okay. Your complex carbs, if they're whole grain, are definitely healthy. And that is rice or barley, all whole grain, wild rice, any cornmeal, potatoes, even though that's not a grain, it's a complex carb. Now, that gives you steady energy, and it's wonderful to have that. But if you have any complex carbohydrates, then you have to just have a salad and vegetables with them. That's it. And then the body knows how to use them for rebuilding and for energy. And it's just something that I've done for years, and people are always asking me, what's the secret of your being thin? And when I tell them, they say, I'll never do that.
Well, once again, it's a choice. It's all about choosing what things in your life you're willing to change in order to meet your ultimate goal, which is improving the quality of your life as you age. Now, let's talk about skincare. People don't talk about skincare a lot when it comes to the whole health and wellness thing, but skin is your first line of defense, and it is very important that you take good care of your skin. What are some of the tips that you have for those women who are out there, like for me, for instance? I am obsessing lately, at least my husband would say, I am obsessing lately over the bags that are beginning to come under my eyes. Yeah, I swear, I woke up one morning, the bags were there, and they just didn't leave. And I know there's a lot of things I can do, the cucumbers, the chamomile tea bags, the eyes, things like that. But in general, as we age, what are some of the skincare tips that you can share with our listeners that can kind of help them embrace that?
The bags under the eyes actually are fatty deposits, and they are going to stay. Of all the different things, I don't really know of anything. I know models used to actually use preparation H to shrink them.
Ooh!
But that is just, you'll see. Now, there's very little you can do beyond surgery about that because even if you take something to shrink it, there'll be some wrinkles underneath. So You can put the cucumber, whatever, keep your skin tone excellent, and then they're not as perceptible. I have had them for years, and they're in my photographs, but my eyes are so clear, and they're smiling so that it's all part of my face, and I will not have the surgery. That's been my decision, because if they extract the fat, they have to take a couple of stitches to pull the skin back because it will sag. And I have pledged, not for my particular life mission, not to have surgery or shots. So that's that. However, if you have dark circles, that is a clue that your liver is contaminated and is not functioning properly. So interestingly enough, Linus, one of the things I learned is I watch commercials. I don't love them, but I watch them because it teaches me that as soon as they see something, they're going to create a product to cover it up. And instead of acknowledging that it is a toxic liver, which all of us are subject to because of the environment and genetically modified foods and things of that sort. So you speak about detoxifying, and that's your answer. You're perfectly on target that you have to have that lemon juice and the water. And also, if you have a water supply, no matter what they say New York water is good. No way is it good. It has hormones and drugs and all sorts of stuff in it. So I get a delivery in a glass bottle, and I have to make the money to cover it. All these choices. And considering that I somehow know, it's not that I'm psychic or whatever, but in this instance, I know that I am going to be given, it's either blessed or cursed, with a very long life. And so my motivations are powerful, and I take on the different things. So you must, whether you like it or not, go on the Internet, look at detox. My waistline was getting larger. You know, in the wintertime I was wearing tights that stretch. Comes the spring, I put my pants back on again. They're not buttoning, honey. So I said, I think that my small intestine is really not clear. Now, I go to the toilet every day, but it's the same thing as you go to the dentist. Sometimes you need a real cleaning. So I took something called Colon Care. And again, I want to say I don't represent these companies. I'm just sharing what has worked for me. Right. COLONCARE, the powder. And you have to shake it up and drink it immediately or it gets thick. And sure enough, I lost 2 inches off my waist. My abdomen doesn't protrude in the same way. And that internal cleanliness changes the way you think and you feel. Because when you know, it's like polishing a mirror or a piece of silver. When it shines, you shine back up at yourself. And when that happens, you feel freshly motivated. So the thing to do is to keep believing that no matter how bad you feel, it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up and how you get up. That's how you will take aging into your own hands. You don't accept that you will disintegrate. You don't accept that you will be useless and sexless and ugly. You don't accept these things. You don't accept that there are 14 and 15-year-olds showing skincare treatments. And, you know, recently I was photographed for Gotham magazine as one of New York's natural beauties, and that was a great honor. And what happened, Liz, this is hilarious. They say they're going to take natural shots and then glamour shots. I said, cool, because I like to wear false eyelashes. You know, they're like a costume. It's delightful. It's fun.
Sure.
I might be obsessed with health, but I love glamour. I love it. I love sequins, you know, and I am not embarrassed to wear low-cut stuff and short skirts. And at the beginning, I received criticism, but I don't anymore. Because I've assimilated that young look, and I own it. So now when young people or old people see me, I get a high five, and I get thank you, you're inspiring me, or you're making me not be afraid of aging. And every time someone tells me that, I move to my bones, and it motivates me further. So I promise everyone listening that even though you may feel low or lack motivation, let yourself drop. Acknowledge it. Take your time with
That's
it.
interesting. I've heard that before, too, that instead of being afraid to feel the fear, to feel the depression, to feel the anxiety, to feel the down feeling, to go ahead and embrace it. Get it over with. Feel it. Work your way through it. And then you shed that and you're able to move on to something else. If you're not embracing it, if you're not dealing with it, and it just kind of stays with you, it just kind of sticks there. And I would imagine that over time it begins to impede not just your emotional health, but your physical health too. And
right.
as it begins to have an effect on your physical health, then over time it's going to impact how you age. And let's talk about that a little bit. Stress and aging. What's the correlation? Or is there a correlation? Is there anything that stress does that helps speed up the aging process? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, absolutely, because stress has to do with worry, and then worry kind of constricts your brain. It's the opposite of spirituality. Fear is they say it's the opposite of love, but you know, love is just bandied around. I love that hat. I love those shoes. I love that man. I love my dog. I love my chair. You know, but it has much to do with how you see something and how you handle real human emotions, the real negative ones: fear, stress, rage, jealousy. Instead of saying, "Oh, I'll never have those feelings," you let them pass through you, and you don't stress over it. And then there is the issue of faith. And I have found, you know, they always used to say people get more religious as they get older. Well, I was raised as an atheist, and I didn't believe in God. But with time, God actually one day said to me, "I believed in you before you believed in me." I said, "That's a cool argument."
That's a real wake-up call, isn't it?
Yes, it was. And I looked
right,
around
absolutely.
me. Come on, mountains and rainbows and oceans. Einstein said, "You either see everything as a miracle or nothing is a miracle." So I think everyone should honor that they are a personal, unique miracle. And when you are stressed out, let yourself feel it. Cry if you have to, because we do get scared. There are things frightening us. But reach into the center of your being and realize your uniqueness and your fineness. Now, you cannot control the world. We cannot, but we can control ourselves. And one of the things about aging and beauty is as beauty does. And I have found that the more compassionate and loving and accepting of everyone's journey and how I can give them more stability and more belief in themselves, the more I believe in others. And I started out with a strong belief in myself, but I had to develop that. I developed it from negativity so I can help other people with their negativity and to grow into a human being of worth. And you radiate. And so every time you're afraid, say, "Yes, I am afraid, but I have faith that what is happening is what should be happening, and I will go through the process with what Beverly Sills calls, her exact words were blessed responses, sweetness of spirit." That's how she spoke. She spoke about unfailingly gracious. These words, they're very powerful, by the way. You know, people can pray, "I want money, I want a job, I want a lover," but how often do they pray, "May I be a being of grace and beauty so that I can impact and help humanity?" Now, it was only after I added that second part, Linus, that I became a world-class beauty, and I could say that without self-consciousness.
That is wonderful. To be a world. What do you consider a world-class beauty? What things are encompassed in being a world-class beauty?
Thank you for that question. My smile lights up a city block.
All right.
Can you imagine what a feeling that is after someone who spent a good deal of her childhood hating and being terrified of aging and growing old? It turned around. I turned my hatred into action and then into contributing to others. So that's what time has given me. With each passing decade, I honor humanity more. And as I love other people and I hug them on the street, they've seen me on TV because of my book, Sex and the Single Senior, which is not salacious at all. It's not really a sex book. It's a human life book, and, of course, I dated very young men. And I was on the Oprah Channel, on the Learning Channel, and it's all over the world. I get emails from Poland, Africa, South America, and people come up to me, and in the past I might have been vain, but no more. I see their face, and I look at them, and I say, what an honor to inspire others. Now, I'm not saying that at every age people should do this. This you can realize will happen to you in the future. There are age-appropriate ways of being beautiful. And someone asked me about Angelina Jolie because she came on to the Academy Awards with a slit skirt up to her thigh, and she dyed her hair, and she's very skinny or whatever. They said, isn't that disgusting? And they thought I was going to say yes. And I said, no, it's not. Because that woman still adopts children of all nationalities, just as who was the woman with the bananas in France,
Josephine Baker.
Yeah, she did that too. Now, did she have ego? You bet she did. But you don't criticize that. You let that ego flower, because it starts off as vanity, as it did in my case, narcissism, vanity, but I knew I didn't want that. And so with time, I was able to cultivate a way of being beautiful that inspires the world, and then watch the gifts you'll be given, because you care for humanity and God cares for all his children. And I happen to be especially blessed and super grateful. You can believe that.
That is wonderful, and it's so inspiring just listening to you, because we live in a society where when people talk about embracing their beauty, they're perceived as being conceited or being, as you said, narcissistic or self-centered. But it's all about what you do with that beauty and how you give back. And I'm truly a believer in giving back. I got a call yesterday from someone that was asking me to do some workshops for youth. I'm a dancer. In my other life, as my listeners know, I was a dancer for many, many years. And I have this skill that I don't want to just have it die with me. I want to be able to give it back. And it's through giving back that I stay re-energized. And I also find a way to kind of reaffirm who I am and the gifts that God has given me. And, always expecting some kind of monetary reward for everything that we do kind of sometimes takes away from the idea of giving back so that you can receive. So I like the idea of a person's world-class beauty encompassing their ability to be able to give back. And in return, it's really a symbiotic type of thing. You give back, you receive. You receive, you give back. It's not just all about collecting things and not ever giving it back. So I agree with you. I think, actually, I thought Angelina Jolie's dress was just fine. If you got it, flaunt it. And the fact that she is a humanitarian and a world-class humanitarian in terms of things she does for youth, I think just makes her beauty even more pronounced and more beautiful. So I absolutely agree with you. Wow, it has been just great speaking with you, Hattie. And if people want to find out more about your services and where to get your book, what's the best place to go? Where should they go?
Well, Amazon handles both my books, RetroAge, 4 Steps to a Younger You. And then there's my memoir, Sex and the Single Senior, A Cougar's Search for Love. And I became famous, of all things, not because I wrote the first organic certification form, but because I slept with young men. But that's the way things go, so be it. No big problem to get out there.
Well, you know what they say, sex sells. So.
Yes, it does.
So for people who want to find out more about Hattie, first of all, she's got the book Sex and the Single Senior, which is on Amazon.com, and also RetroAge, 4 Steps to a Younger You. That's also on Amazon. And you can also go to her website.
Yeah,
yes, your blog. What is your blog?
Yeah, holisticallyhattie.com. Now, I provide private sessions in person in New York, but on the phone. So if someone leaves a message at 212-388-8444, I'll repeat that, 212-388-8509. I'm a trained psychotherapist, a movement therapist, and I now call myself an anti-aging life coach. But any issues around aging, health, even psychological fears and emotional upsets, we will talk through them, and I will guide you to a place of security and beauty. That's what my life is about. Just
that
like
is fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And again, listeners, it's Holistically Hattie. That's HOLISTICALLY, Hattie.com. And there you will find all of her social media, how to get in touch with her on Facebook, how to engage her as a speaker, and also how to purchase her books. Hattie, you are an inspiration, and we thank you so much for being on the wellness journey. It's so wonderful to have a real-life celebrity on the wellness journey. We're so glad that you decided to join us.
Thank you, darling. It's been an absolute pleasure. Your listeners, I can kind of feel them through space, and I'm so grateful to them for taking this personal beauty into their own beings. Bless you all.
Thank you. Wow, that was Hattie RetroAge. We are so glad to have her. And again, if you want to find out more about her and her services and purchasing her books and finding out where she might be speaking, go to holisticallyhattie.com. It's HOLISTICALLY, Hattie.com, HATTIE. And, of course, on the show page, you'll see a little bit about her also on our show page. We'll have some information about how to get in touch with her. We're so glad that she joined us on the wellness journey. Wow, time goes by so fast when you're having fun and being educated at the same time, and that's what we like to do at the wellness journey, is provide you with experts from different fields of health and wellness to not only enhance your life, but also for you to have fun. And I think we've had a real fun segment today, and I hope that you will join us next time on the wellness journey. You're listening to Linus from Praiseworks, and you're on the wellness journey. We'll see you again next time.